What are spiritual gifts exactly? I mean ability or talent or skill that God has gifted you with. Many times we look at other people and say, man, I wish I had that skill. I wish I had that gift. When you already have a gift, you already have an ability, why don't we look at the gifts that we have? Why don't we use them? You have your own gift. I have my own gift. What kind of gifts do we have? Some people have the gift of communicating with people very well and getting your point across and just talking. While others have the are kind of more shy and just want to listen. I believe all those different kinds of gifts should be used for God's purpose. I believe we were given these gifts or talents by God to be used, not to be wasted, not to just sit there and just say, "Thanks God for what you give." I'm just gonna sit here and not do anything with it. When somebody gives you a gift, do you use it or do you just waste it? Well, let's give you an example. You're really hungry, okay, and you really need food. And say somebody comes along and gives you this kind of food that makes your hunger go away, but instead they give it to you and you just stay there. You don't do anything with it. You're hungry, but you don't do anything with it. See, God's given us a gift to use for His purpose. We can't just leave it on the kitchen counter per se, but instead use it for God's glory. I think too many times also, when we get those spiritual gifts, we use it, but we use it for our own purpose. And when I say our own purpose, I mean to hear people say, you are very gifted. You love to hear that you're gifted. You never seem to give it to God, the giver of the gift. Instead you say, yeah, I know. I'm gifted in what I got. I know. You should see how silly that sounds? When you boast about your own talents and you boast about your own spiritual gifts, you're not praising God at all. Instead, you're letting you praise yourself, and those spiritual gifts are going to waste. Every gift that we have, we should be praising God in it. We should praise the Creator. We should praise the gift giver. Do you not know what your spiritual gift is? Maybe that's the problem. Maybe it's not that you know what it is and you're boasting about it. Maybe it's you don't know what it is and you don't know what to do with it. Do you have a talent? Do you have an ability that other people can't? I believe everybody has a skill. Some people might be good at sign language and they know how to communicate with their hands. I believe you can get used in that to teach others about Christ. Some people have the gift of sports. Some people have the gift of reading. Some people have the gift of speech. Everybody has a gift. Now, it depends on how we use it. I always look back. Steve Zook had an amazing ability and gift to wrestle. Steve Zook was a preacher, but he was also a wrestler. And in his wrestling, he'd put on wrestling shows every Saturday in the church. Many people didn't agree with it, and they thought, well, I don't know if this is good. I always looked at it as he's using it for God's kingdom. I mean, I don't understand why people are complaining. Steve had the gift to wrestle. Steve used that gift for the ministry. Every time that he put on a show, he'd invite those people to church the next morning. He would invite them. He wouldn't put them on it. They knew they were in a church. So Steve just pointed out the obvious. Come to church. I'll be preaching. I'll be preaching you God's word. Please come. And he did it with such a passion. Steve Zook loved people. And he used his gift in wrestling to further the kingdom. To further the kingdom for God's glory. Now find out your gift. Find out your gift and use it for God's glory. Don't let your gift get wasted. Always remember that your gift was given for a purpose. To glorify Christ's name in all we do. in every day-to-day life, when other people just say, wow, that's amazing, you should be saying, thanks. But please be thanking God for what you see, not me.